So wonderful, and they've said so many things, really tough acts to follow. So when I think of gratitude, for me, it's a survival strategy. It helps me get through. It helps me to feel like I can make sense of things that happen, because my amygdala, my amygdala in my brain, that part of us that fires off that fight or flight response, it's jacked up in there, right? And I've always been hyper and a little bit nervous about things since I was a little boy. And when I was 12 years old, I had something happen to me that was it was hard to deal with. So I remember I grew up in a little town called Hobart, Indiana, up north, a couple hours. Yeah. And so my dad worked at one of the steel mills. And the phone rang one day while he was at work, and I picked up the phone, and I said, hello. And there's this woman, and she says, honey, is your mom there? There's been an accident. You see, while my dad was working on one of those great big electrical boxes, and his buddy Bill was in there with a flashlight, the box didn't get tagged right. So somebody turned it on, and it exploded. It caught my dad and Bill on fire. I didn't see my dad again for the next 3 months, and when I did see him, it didn't look like my dad. It looked like a mummy, and it was upsetting. There's nothing worse than going through a burn unit when you're a kid and hearing all those things. And so now the good news is my dad survived, and I'm really grateful for that. And he's one of those guys that even though he's full of scars, he's the first one to take his shirt off in the summer and go for a swim, right? Yeah, how about it? It left me with a lot of scars on the inside. In that moment, I stopped playing life to win, and I started playing not to lose. Can any of you relate to that? Yeah. I started playing not to lose. And what happens when you play not to lose? You lose. Wise crowd. Experienced crowd, all right? And so as I started, hanging out and talking to more people, I realized that a lot of us are going through that, playing not to lose, waiting for the next bad thing to happen. And so gratitude is a survival skill for me, because it helps me to realize that you can look at anything in a way that either makes you stronger or that weakens you. And so, being in Indiana, I like to use a lot of farmer metaphors. And farmers know that a lot of things grow best in fertilizer, in manure, right? And so I've learned that, you can take the crap of your life and use it to grow a really wonderful future. It just depends on what you tell yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's not what happens, it's what you tell yourself. It's the meaning that you give to it. It's the interpretation that makes you stronger or makes you feel weaker. So, I feel bad that happened with my dad. I feel bad for the things that I've been through, but I also feel gratitude for him, because that fear taught me to have more compassion. It taught me to stand up for myself and go into field like I've spent the last 27 years trying to figure out how to shift post-traumatic stress. Spend my entire adult life learning how to help people shift what's going on in their mind lightning fast. And that would never have happened. I wouldn't have met all the amazing people. I wouldn't have went through all those journeys and all those people who went from breakdowns to breakthroughs, that took their pain and gave it a new meaning. That would have never happened if I didn't have these experiences. And the experiences that you're having, that you've had, or that you're having now, or that you will have, they're shaping and defining you as well, right? Benjamin Franklin said that the kite rises highest against the wind. It's only through resistance that we reach our fullest potential. So when the wind starts blowing, be ready. And tell yourself something good's coming. When it starts raining, look for that rainbow. So there was a woman that came into my office one time, and I told her this story, and I want to share it with you. I heard it and I thought it was really powerful. So there's this woman, and she's struggling. She's having a really hard time dealing with the challenges that she's going through. In fact, she feels like she's at a point of just having a breakdown, right? Totally, completely overwhelmed. So many of us feel just so overwhelmed these days. And the ways that we try to feel better aren't working. Eating, smoking, drinking, watching TV, it's just not working anymore. It's causing more stress and anxiety in our life. We're trying to avoid pain by doing things that seem to cause more of it. And we don't know what to do. And so she goes to sleep and she has this dream. And she dreams that she's standing in this field, and here comes God. And God walks up to her, and he smiles, and he notices that she's holding this cross, and she notices that she's holding this cross. And she says, Lord, I can't bear this anymore. It's too heavy. It's too much. I'm going out of my mind. And God says, well, I'll bear that cross for you. Give it to me, child. And so she handed the cross over to God, and Thank you, Lord, thank you. And then he said, now I want you to go out there and find the cross that's right for you. Find the challenge in your life that's right for you. And he goes like this. And all of a sudden, this field of crosses appear. Little tiny crosses and giant crosses in all shapes and sizes. And so she starts looking around and she says, well, that cross is way too big. I am not capable of that. She says, but you know what? I'm also pretty tough. You know, I've been through some stuff. I want to be challenged. I want to grow. I want to reach my fullest potential. And so I don't want to, just choose something that's too easy. So she looks and looks, spends a lot of time. Finally, she finds this cross. It's not too big, but it's not too small either. It's just enough to cause her to stretch. Lao Tzu said 2,500 years ago that you got to go out on a limb because that's where the fruit is. You can't stay by the base and grow. You have to stretch. And so she brought that cross to God and she said, here, Lord, this is the one that I want. And God just smiled at her again and said, but my child, that's the one you just gave me. I know. You're going to be driving home tonight going, So there's this woman, and she's So whatever challenge you might be going through, if you can take a moment to pause and take in all the insights and all the ideas that have been shared this evening, and then take the insights that you brought with you, because people don't come to a place like this without already having the truth within them, with already having that magic inside. All of you brought the magic with you. It's what's making this room light up tonight. So just keep in mind that whatever you're going through, it doesn't matter what you're going through. What matters is the meaning that you give to it and what you bring to it and what you tell yourself about it. So there's this boy, and he sees this baseball, and he's walking around with a stick. And so he picks up the ball, and he throws it way in the air and swings, and misses. Picks up the ball again, says, that's all right, I got this. Throws it way up in the air. Waits, swings, misses again. Whew. All right, one more time. Picks up the ball, focus, breathe, throws the ball way high. Keeps the eye on it, all the way down, swings, totally misses. Getting all frustrated, staring at the ball. And then all of a sudden gets this idea. Hey, what a pitcher. There's always another way to look at any situation, and what I want us to do is leave here looking for those opportunities to feel good, looking for ways to feel grateful, because whatever you look for enough, you will find. And look for it in those around you. Make it a goal to catch people doing things right. I have a little acronym. It's called LOVE, L-U-V. It stands for listen to, understand, and validate. If you go through life validating people and helping them know that they are worthy, you will feel worthy. So I want you to do this real quick. Look to the person next to you, and I want you to say, I really appreciate you for being you. Go. Well, you're just taking it to a whole other level, aren't you? We need to have a big group hug right now. Okay? All right. Now I want you to look at the person next to you and I want you to say, thank you for being the same as me. Because we are all human and we might have different experiences and we might look different, but we are all in this together. Now look at the person next to you and say, thank you for being different than me. Because there is such power in diversity. So, repeat one thing right after me. Okay, just say this with me. Say, I am worthy.
I am worthy.
Now look at everybody else and say, you are worthy.
You are worthy.
And then say one more thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you. Very good. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.